welcome to Life of a Wife podcast. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Amanda.
And this is Baby Do. And we
Baby
are
Do.
going to be talking about our personality tests today and doing some reviews for some Starbucks food. So yeah, let's get started.
Hi everybody and welcome back. It's nice to, we all know that Lindsay's pregnant now, so that's very nice.
Finally get it out in the open.
Yeah, it is really funny though, because after our episode last week, we talked about the clutter in this studio. And Mark was like, on your day off, we're going to organize the clutter. And I was like, okay. And then I'm pretty sure on my day off, he took a nap and that was that. And
he got really motivated for 3 seconds.
yeah. But I
sometimes that happens.
I kept it in my mind. I think I cleaned my bathroom, my shower and stuff. So
yeah, that's good. Good.
I did do some stuff.
Yeah. And sometimes the things that come up that we clean are not always the things that we originally planned.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's things that take priority that we didn't realize. So that's always
I feel like I organize
fun surprise.
Once a year. Lindsay helps me organize
when I come over
once a year, and that's pretty much it. So yeah.
So last week we went to a Swiftie night at Jurgles, and they played Taylor Swift music, and we danced the night away with a couple friends.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, Amanda had a blast.
I got this dress from Dress Up Studio, which I don't know I forget where they're based out of, but it is a small business, and I think they do have a store, but like I said, it's a small business, and I found it on my For You page the one day, and it's a t-shirt dress, but it has the Tortured Poets Department outfit from the concert drawn onto it. Whatever dresses they have, they draw onto it. It's not just Taylor Swift stuff. They have all kinds of movies that you could think of outfits. But I've been posting videos and stuff on TikTok of me in that dress, and everyone's like, where did you get that dress? Did you make that? And I tagged Dress Up Studio in 3 or 4 posts, and they're like, oh, thanks for supporting my small business. It's just really nice.
That's cute. Yeah.
But I'm obsessed with the dress, and I'm gonna wear it around my house.
I mean, it looked very comfortable. You looked
extremely
comfortable.
It's actually I can see it on my drying rack over there. I'm gonna wear it around my house. It's very comfy. But they had a lip sync battle and a costume contest, and I signed up for the lip sync battle too late. It was already full, and I won't lie, I was low-key nervous to sign up. So I was like, if everyone tells me to sign up for it, then I'll sign up for it and do it. So once everyone was like, oh, Mandy, you should do it, I was like, okay. And I just remember last time I went to a Taylor Swift night there, they were dressed in Reputation outfits from head to toe, fully done up doing these performances. So I was nervous. But this time, they were just they were wearing outfits, but they weren't going full out, and I was like, oh damn, I could have went full out on that stage.
Yeah. It seemed a little bit more
singing
relaxed.
Who's Afraid of I would have sang Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, and
yeah,
went fully out, but next time.
That would have been fun. Yeah. I missed the lip sync battle and the costume contest. I went home a little early.
Yeah.
My feet were hurting. That was a long weekend for me. I forget all that we did, but I did a lot of walking that weekend. So by the time, or that was the first thing I did. But I was tired. Very tired.
Have your feet been swelling at all? I know that.
No, I haven't had much swelling. But I feel like that happens later in pregnancy, whenever you're just getting bigger.
Yeah, for some reason I remember Emily telling me that was happening to her, but I feel like it was early on for some reason.
Well, I mean, I guess everybody's
different.
But
I think typically it is later on.
I just always think of it as later on. Not saying that it can't happen earlier, but
Yeah.
I've just been noticing my body not being able to do what it used to be able to do, which is like frustrating to me, but like obvious, like
Right.
obviously you're not going to be able to do everything you can, but like I just feel myself not being able to stand as long. Like I just need to sit down more, like walking a lot. I've just been getting so tired and just being
Mhm.
like, okay, I need to like chill for a second. And like I'll like stand or like I'll lean down to like grab something and stand back up and I'll get really dizzy. Like I really need to watch myself.
Mhm.
Like, and I think it's hard to do that because I'm just so
Yeah.
used to just doing whatever I want,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I got pretty dizzy yesterday a couple times that I had to
Mhm.
sit down, but I haven't passed out, so
Oh
that's
no.
good.
What were you doing? Were you just like doing stuff around the house, or were you?
I wasn't really doing anything crazy. I think that I was like walking around a bit more than I have been
Mhm.
lately, like around the house, and then I
Mhm.
would like lean down. Specifically is whenever I lean down,
Oh,
and I
I
think I
feel
need
like
to start getting in the habit of like bending my knees
that make
instead of
yeah, I feel like that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. So those two times were just like of me leaning down doing something and then
Mhm.
coming back up and I was like, "Oh god."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Mark about this. Well, I've been meaning to ask you this. Like,
mhm.
what foods are you avoiding, like, eating while you're pregnant? Because, like, like everyone says not to eat lunch meat
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
obviously, like, raw fish and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've
But
never ate raw fish,
I've
so
never
that's
ate
not
that
really a
either.
problem for me
Yeah,
to
but,
avoid.
like, specifically lunch meat
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
can you eat it if you heat it up? And, like, I guess,
Mhm.
like, tell me all
I
that
feel
stuff.
comfortable eating it if I heat it up,
Okay.
but I have been trying to avoid like lunch meat from a like in the store. Like I don't buy that and eat it for myself. Um,
Mhm.
One thing that I have been doing that I feel comfortable doing because I know that they actually cook their meat is going to DeBella's.
Okay.
I go to DeBella's and get whatever kind of sub I want because like for some reason you like won't have a sub for like 6 months and then you get pregnant and you're like, wow, I would
Well,
really love a
I
sub so
feel
much.
I know, and I feel like that's such like an easy thing to eat, and like when
Yes.
you're pregnant, you probably
Yes.
probably don't want to
Yes.
think too much about what you're eating, and I feel like, and I just love hoagies, and Mark's
Yeah.
like, you're
Yeah.
not gonna.
Like Italian
His
hoagies.
mom made hoagies. He's like, you're not gonna be able to eat sandwiches. So, anyways, what do you get?
I love roast beef. So
Okay.
I'm like a really plain girl. I've always,
Mhm.
Dylan calls me plain Jane with my food choices, which is not that I don't like flavoring or anything. I just know what I like and that's what I stick with.
Mhm.
So
Literally like
like,
Mark.
yeah, yes. So I usually get roast beef. Maybe sometimes I'll get turkey with it too, and then I'll get like any kind of white cheese, like white American or mozzarella or something like that, whatever I'm in the mood for, provolone. Um, and then mayo, their oil and vinegar, and I got pickles on it last time, and lettuce.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm very plain.
So, is there anything else that you're like specifically avoiding not eating?
Not really, but there's not a whole bunch of foods that
Mhm.
I eat regularly that I
Yeah,
would need to worry about,
obviously,
I
like
guess.
obviously you can't drink, and obviously, like caffeine and like,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah, and I sometimes like forget, especially with pop and stuff, that there's caffeine in
yeah, I
pop.
think about that
So,
often because like I normally have like a double shot of espresso from my Nespresso machine in the morning, and that's like 133 milligrams of caffeine, but then you're only supposed to have 200 a day, and it's
mhm.
like, so what foods have caffeine and what, like, I don't really drink pop, but
Yeah.
it's like weird to think about all that stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, honestly, if you would do that in the morning and then like I don't think you would have to worry about
right.
like unless you are going to be like drinking a whole pop or something like that. But honestly, like my body just hasn't been I before I got pregnant, I was a Coke Zero girly until I literally died.
Mm.
And now I
Coke
like it still
Zero.
obviously because I've always liked it, but like my body isn't like I really want that. So I have one sitting in my fridge now. It's been in there for like 5 days. I'm like, why am I
Mm.
not drinking this? Like I love pop. I'll probably drink it today since I'm talking about it,
I don't know
but
about, I
yeah.
love regular Coke. I don't know about Coke Zero.
I don't know. Once I started drinking it, I just couldn't
Interesting.
stop and I've been addicted ever
I
since.
I was on a little Coke binge, a little Coke binge for a little bit. I don't remember how it started. Oh,
I
it
love
started
Coke.
because my friend Hillary at work was drinking pop, and like she would
Mhm.
bring me some, and then Mark and I both really love Coke. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we very much drink water regularly,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if we were to choose a pop, like, we would drink Coke, and
Mm-hmm.
I like just so it's so good.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
yeah,
anyways, that's good to know.
not really avoiding, but I did put my cravings on this list of things to talk about, so we can talk about that
Yeah.
too. Which I've only had two very specific and like strong cravings, which are lemonade.
Hmm.
Ever since the beginning of my pregnancy, even whenever I was feeling sick, I still wanted lemonade, even though I couldn't drink it. Specifically, Chick-fil-A lemonade because their lemonade is the
Oh
best.
yeah.
Um, but any other kind of lemonade besides like Minute Maid lemonade, I've never liked that lemonade
Yeah.
either. But like, I just not the one I go for. Um, and then the smell of coffee. And if you know me, you know I'm not a coffee drinker, but I've always liked the smell of coffee. Like it's never been like
Oh.
a thing for me that I don't like, but I will keep this is going to be really weird.
Oh
But
my god, that's crazy because I just sent you there's this girl like I follow on TikTok, and she said that like she could not stand, like she loved coffee but she could not stand the smell of coffee and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I'll keep a thing of coffee grounds on my desk at work and
Oh
I'll
my
just smell it
god.
like aromatherapy.
Oh.
So, yeah, whenever I went to Starbucks today, I was like I couldn't wait to smell the smell of
And
coffee.
you don't, she doesn't like coffee because she
Yeah,
got
no.
the stomach bug the first time she ever had coffee.
Yeah, yeah, right after I drank coffee for the first time, I got the stomach flu and never was able. It's just like the aftertaste of the coffee. Like that's the only thing I can think about whenever I drink it is just like that taste that like sticks in the back of my throat. But I
Mhm.
wish I liked coffee, but just not for me, I guess.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But yeah, those are the two very strong
I
cravings that I've had, which are just weird to me.
the coffee smell is weird. I
Yeah.
used to think that I feel like people do think this, that you can literally not have any coffee when you're pregnant,
Mhm.
and I used to be like, how am I going to do this? I'm going to
Yeah, yeah.
die. Like,
And some people do try to avoid it, obviously. Like there
right.
are those people,
Right.
but
I feel
I
like
don't think that you.
I would just do one in the morning, and even like, you know, I could limit it to like a single shot of espresso instead of a double, or like
Mhm.
just to be,
Yeah, yeah.
or I know like the regular coffee pods are better. There's not It's not often that I have more than one coffee anyways.
That's good.
Like well, ever since the Panera lemonade charged lemonade thing happened, that really freaked
Oh,
me out
yes,
cuz
yes.
I used to drink, like I would drink those, and not like all the time, but I would like have a coffee in the morning and then like go to Panera and get like lunch and have like a charged
Yeah,
lemonade,
yeah.
and like that really freaked me out. And I feel
Well,
like
that's
from
good.
I feel like from working at Dunkin' and stuff like years ago, like I used to drink a lot of
Oh,
coffee and my
yeah, yeah,
body's
I
like
bet.
kind of used to it, but now like I don't know if it's probably just in my head, but I'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm going to like give myself a heart attack." I mean,
Yeah, please don't do that.
I don't drink energy drinks or anything like that, and
Yeah.
I know you were telling me about how you were drinking those and you were like, what did you say?
Oh yeah, my body. Well, I think also because I've never drank
Mhm.
coffee. And so whenever I started drinking energy drinks, I liked how it made me feel, but also at the same time like I would just get so like
Yeah.
shaky and like just like anxious like and I could notice it right away like but then I would just keep doing it obviously because I was like I don't care.
Yeah, even
But
I
I
don't
stopped
know.
eventually cuz I just didn't feel like it was doing good
I feel
things for
like
my
having
body.
coffee in the morning and then having an energy drink, like I don't know, I just feel like that's too much.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. As I get older, I like was telling Lindsay, I like Google. I'm like, can you have this? Like literally, like if I'm drinking, I'll try. This is so ridiculous, but um, I feel like random stuff on TikTok will come up too. Like one time on my For You page, it was like, you should not take ibuprofen like within the 24-hour span of drinking alcohol. And I'm like, what? Like I didn't know that. They're like, oh, you know, like your stomach could bleed or whatever. And like I don't know. I'm just convinced like every time I drink, I'm like, okay, I'm not taking any of these medications, or like I'm like very like,
Cautious.
can I mix Gas X with this medication?
Yeah.
And I feel like I never used to really care, and like normally like it's not anything extreme, and like my mom will probably be like, "Minna, like it's fine, you're being crazy," but I don't know, I'm just like very weary, and I never used to be like that.
Well, yeah, I think that just comes with getting
I mean,
older, which isn't
I feel like
necessarily a bad thing.
I feel like I did used to be like that, but I would more like ask my mom, like,
Yeah,
"Are you
yeah.
sure I'm not gonna like die if I do this?"
You just trust your mom's what she says.
Mhm. Now I'm like, I'm just kidding. um, but yeah.
What'd you do for 4th of July?
So on the actual 4th of July, we went to the casino.
Yeah, it's been a long weekend. I think it's been long
I'm
because
tired.
Thursday was
I feel
4th of
like
July and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like I'm just like, oh my god.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like the past couple weekends have been really busy for
A lot
both of
going
us.
on, yeah. Mhm.
Um,
I know I texted Amanda today. I was like, I really miss you. Like I'm glad we have this time where we have to hang out, but also at the same time, like
yeah,
I just want to hang out without doing the podcast.
yeah. Um, yeah. So, we went to the casino. So July 4th is my stepdad's birthday. So we went to
Yeah.
the casino. We had lunch, and they played some. They played some games. I think they did win like a little bit of money. I ended up not playing anything, which was probably for the best. Every
Yeah.
time Mark is there, I like don't play. But if he's not there, I'll play a little bit. But I haven't been lucky yet, so I'm like, it's just
Yeah.
not.
That's
I
not
think I was
fun.
just saying this last. For some reason, I'm getting deja vu. I feel like I was just like saying this last week. I'm pretty sure. We were talking
Yeah,
about
we were
this.
talking about
Yeah,
this a couple weeks
but
ago.
yeah. We went to the Wheelhouse and their food is really good. And
Yeah.
I tried Icy Light Mango, which I've never had.
Really?
Mhm. Yeah, Icy Light, isn't that just like a Pittsburgh beer?
Yes.
Yeah, Icy Light is a beer they have in Pittsburgh. I've never even had regular Icy Light, but there's Icy
I'm a mess over here.
It's
Don't look
okay.
at me.
Icy Light Mango. No, it was really
I'm
good.
glad.
I
I'm
really
glad you
liked
liked
it.
it.
Yeah, and then yesterday was Mark's family's 4th of July party, so I felt like a mermaid. I was in the pool for like 2 hours,
Oh my
and
god, that's
I
my favorite
actually
thing to do.
don't think I got any sun, so it was really sad, but
Yeah.
um I'm off on Friday, so I was considering if the weather's nice going there and like swimming cuz
Yeah. That would be nice.
like his parents have a pool and we like normally only use it like 3 times a year. So, and Mark and I both have really bad tan lines that we need to fix.
Dylan has bad tan lines.
Yeah. I
Sorry,
feel like it's okay. Not that it's not okay for me to have like weird tan lines, but
No,
guys
Amanda.
like our friend Garrett, like he has
It's more normal.
golf tan lines,
Mhm,
okay? And you're like,
mhm.
"Okay, those are just your golf tan lines." And then
Yeah.
Mark has Mark's is funny because it's like from like a cutoff
Yeah, yeah.
shirt, but I'm like they play sports, so I'm like
Yeah,
they're
it's an exception.
they're sports tan lines.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have a really bad watch tan line
Oh,
and my feet, which is like
socks.
whatever, my socks. I don't even know why it's like so bad, but I just keep wearing my watch to cover it up, and I'm like, okay.
Oh well.
But I mean, it was fun.
Good. I'm glad.
What'd you do?
4th of July, we went to the Zelienople parade, which Dylan and I both said, like, when was the last time we went to a parade? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, it's just not something we normally do, I guess. So we went there because our nieces were in the parade, twirling. They do, like, their little dance thing. So we went there for that, and then we left right after we saw them because my parents were having a picnic, so we went over there for a little bit, got to see some of my family who I don't normally see, which was nice, and then we went up to camp, which was fun. We didn't do much up at camp, which is always nice. Dylan's family has a camp up at Moraine State Park at Bear Run, so we really like to go there whenever we can and just hang out. His mom and sister have camps there, so yeah.
That sounds fun.
Like that. Friday we had our anatomy scan, which was really nice and sweet to see. Oh, it was like so great. I like felt so happy to like just be able to see the baby and like see them move around and stuff like that. So that was really nice. Dylan and I had a really good time like there and just, I don't know. I feel like it always like brings us a little bit closer
Yeah.
whenever we get to see the baby. And then after that, we went up to camp again and hung out there with everybody, which was fun. So, but then everybody was up there, like even his other sister was up there too. So that was really nice. And then yesterday, my dad came over to help us put in flooring for our entryway room, which we don't use as an entryway. We use it as the litter box room because it's like in the front part of our house, which is a part that we don't use very often. And, or actually, we don't use it at all. Actually, we use like the back entry. So there was carpet in there, and obviously carpet and litter do not mix very well. Also, my cats love to pee on the carpet, which is
just
lovely. And I don't hate them at all for it.
When we moved into this house and we lifted up the carpet in the hallway, there was so much litter.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. So we got rid of that like a few months ago. It was a while ago. And then there was just like this old tile underneath, which was like not cute at all, and like there was like holes in it and stuff like that. It was just not a good time. So we were like, okay, we have to like put actual flooring in here. So my dad said just to like even it out, he would put down like a thin board, like plywood basically. And so he did that yesterday and measured it and drilled it down and stuff. And then today I'm gonna help him put down the actual flooring, which I'm really, really excited about. We got this flooring on sale at Home Depot, and it's like laminate flooring that clicks together, but it looks like concrete.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like in our house, kind of like how it is here, we have actual plywood on our walls. So I painted it like a light blue, and then I think the concrete floors are going to look really good in there. So I'm really excited for that today.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So I just feel good like getting projects done. Like there's like maybe like 3 or 4 projects I want to get done before the baby comes, and like this is a big one. So I feel really good about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my weekend in a nutshell.
Yeah. And I haven't seen your family in forever, but I'll get to see them tomorrow.
Yes, we have a baby shower meeting tomorrow, which I'm excited about. We already had one, but it was kind of just like an overview one, like what we wanted to look like, stuff like that. But this one, Amanda's going to get to come to, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited.
And then we have some Starbucks food to try. Oh, yes. I guess Amanda has already had this stuff, so
no,
it's
okay.
Not very exciting. But
no, that's just my life. I'm just a Starbucks girly. Have you had what you got? I almost got that same exact drink.
Yes, I get this every single time I go to Starbucks.
How do you say that? I always say it wrong.
Acai. Strawberry acai lemonade refresher is what I got.
I got the mango dragon fruit. So good.
Every time, so good. Okay, so I have had this croissant before, but I hadn't had it in a while, so I was like,
Oh, chocolate croissant. Yeah.
That sounds delicious. We don't have to eat the whole thing, but... Oh, it's still kind of melted in the middle. I wasn't expecting that.
My mom, when she goes to the casino, because her and my stepdad go a lot, she like parks the car and orders her Starbucks before she even walks in the door.
That sounds just like your mom.
Yeah, I used to get this all the time. Well, she's like, it's new to me, Amanda. Like, it's so exciting. Which I totally get, because I used to go through like the Dunkin' drive-thru line all the time, or like go inside, and now like whether it's Starbucks or Dunkin', I usually will order it ahead of time.
I feel like it just makes life that much easier. Okay, and then also, I always hear everyone talking about this lemon loaf. Do you want the... Yeah.
I have had the lemon loaf.
But yeah, I've never had it before, and since I've been craving lemonade, I was like, delicious.
That's so good. Do you like it? Her face was like... I like around Christmas time and stuff, they have like red velvet loaf.
Ooh.
Mhm.
I'll have to try that this year.
Mhm.
I'll have a little baby. Amanda sent me this thing about fall the other day on Facebook. And I was like, is it weird I'll be 8 months pregnant in the fall? And she was like, yes.
I just keep thinking about Christmas and how you'll have like a 1-month-old.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yesterday at the July 4th party, some people were asking me just about Taylor Swift and stuff, and this woman said that her friend went to Ireland to see Taylor Swift. And I was like, I'm not that crazy. And then I was like, well, I am going to the game on Christmas, so I guess I see the
that
Kansas
is pretty
City
cool. I'm excited to hear about
Chiefs
that.
and Steelers, but also it's in Pittsburgh. But yeah, I keep thinking about that time you'll have like a 1-month-old, and
So exciting.
it's so exciting.
It's so crazy I'll be going into the new year with like a newborn baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's so exciting. And then just throughout the year.
I just can't stop having dreams that I'm like having a baby. And
Yeah.
like,
Amanda's pregnant through me in her dreams.
I came home from work the other week and I was like, I want a baby. Like, I just want a baby. And Mark's like, we will.
That's what Dylan used to say to me.
No, I
would always go, we will, don't worry.
I mean,
it'll be our turn one day.
Yeah, and this year is like so exciting. Like, with you having a baby.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Just like, I'm going to be my sister-in-law's matron of honor.
Yeah.
So I'm just like so excited.
Yeah,
for
there's
this
a lot of
year.
fun things happening.
And yeah, but I think it's just with Lindsay having a baby, it's like
the baby fever goes up like 1,000,000%.
It's like extreme. And but Hillary, my friend Hillary, she was like, I think it as great as it would be for you and Lindsay to like have babies like at the same time, like you guys can each really like soak up the newborn stage, like when you have a little one and then I'll have a little one. And
that's true. And like being able to support you, I'm sure you feel the same way about me, but being able to support you while you're pregnant and not have to worry about myself,
Yeah.
and like in the newborn stage and all that stuff, like being able to be there for you has always been really important to me, as it is for all of my friends. But so yeah, I know it would be a lot of fun, but also like
that's a
if
lot.
we were to go through postpartum together, we would just not talk probably.
That's a lot. Yeah, and you never know. And like people like call each other at night, but either way, yeah. And you'll like already be through it by the time.
Yeah, that's true. I'll have some experience to share.
Well, I asked Mark, he's like 2 years. I'm like, you said 2 years 6 months ago, or 8 months ago. You said 2 years.
Oh
so.
No, Mark, the year is coming up.
It's like the same. It's like the same thing with the wedding, though. I feel like it's just like you're so eager, and I'm like, just enjoy.
Yes.
Time now. But yeah, it's funny because he did say 2 years after the wedding, and I was like, it's been 8 months since the wedding now.
Yeah, you guys are like
coming
and I was
up
thinking
on your
about
year
that anniversary.
It's been 8 months since the wedding, so that's like doesn't it seem like a long time since then? And like you're pregnant for like 9 months.
Yeah.
That's like it's like a big chunk of time.
Yeah, that is.
But it also seems like
so short.
Yeah,
at the same
really
time.
Weird.
Like knowing I'm almost halfway through my like next week I'll be halfway through or this week technically it's Sunday. I'll be halfway through my pregnancy.
Are you gonna be 20 weeks?
I'll be 20 weeks on
How many months
Wednesday.
Is that? I'm like
5 months.
Okay.
So in the 5-month period you like come to the halfway point, and then like the rest of the 5 months, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just really weird to think about. And I was like, Dylan, we have to like talk about a lot of stuff now. Like I feel like this was like getting really real. Mm-hmm. And now like seeing the baby on the anatomy scan, knowing I'm halfway, like it's just like there's just a lot that is like going on that I'm like, wait a second, this is coming up really fast.
Well, I mean, you were sick until like
I know
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I like literally couldn't even live my life. so so yeah, I feel like now I'm like, oh, like wait, this is actually happening. Cuz
Mhm.
I guess for so long like you just like wait and like even like you're saying like in the waiting period of like being ready to have a like start trying, it is very hard to be in the moment in that time because like people around you are getting pregnant. You like
Mhm.
want to be pregnant so bad. You're thinking and dreaming about those days that it is a little bit hard to not like
Yeah.
uh think in the future, you know, and just be
Mhm.
present in the time where it's just the two of you. And I think that's something that I feel like coming on where I'm like, okay, like it's not going to be just the two of you anymore. Like you are going to have a baby and like
Mhm.
that is a really weird thought, like that we're going to like be a
Right.
family of 3 and not just the two of us.
Mhm.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But it is also very exciting. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, trying to soak it up, but also like preparing is never bad, as I've always said and thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like I think it's just, obviously we're more ready than we ever have been, so I
hmm
think that's why it just feels very like, you know.
If you had a kid now, it wouldn't be like
Yeah,
the end of the world.
yeah, I mean for a while it's been like that, but now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like very much like, okay, we got married and we're
Yeah,
doing
you're like
this,
set
we're
in your
doing
life.
this,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yes.
mm, yeah, it's very it's weird.
All right, you want to talk about our personality
Yeah,
test results?
yes.
I'm excited.
You can begin because I gotta pull it up. So what is this called? So Lindsay sent me this personality test,
Yes,
and Mark immediately was like, "Oh, I've taken that before," and like started reading all
of
of
course
his
he did.
stuff last night, and it was all
Oh,
so accurate and
yes,
on
yes.
point.
I was reading yours and I thought it was extremely accurate.
But why am I like in denial? I'm like,
You're like, no, maybe not. Well, we'll talk about it. So I am an ISFJ, which is the defender, protector, supporter, and nurturer, which I thought was very on point for
mhm,
myself. I think I have just always, in our friend group in high school, had been called mom. Everyone had always called
yeah,
me that. I was always for the really responsible one. Not that anybody else wasn't responsible, but like I would just like take it to an extreme level of like
mhm,
responsibility. Um, and I just always, yeah, just felt very protective of everyone and my friends and stuff. Okay, it says, um, very dedicated and warm protectors, always ready to defend their loved ones, true allurists, meaning, oh, meeting kindness with kindness in excess, engaging work and people they believe in with enthusiasm and generosity. My strengths are supportive, reliable, patient, imaginative, observant, enthusiastic, loyal, hardworking, and good at practical skills. My weaknesses, which are correct, humble and shy, take things too personally, repress their feelings, overload themselves, reluctant to change.
overload themselves.
um, It's funny because I just kept reading over and over that this personality is reluctant to change. And one fight that Dylan and I don't know if I talked about this last week, but one fight that Dylan and I have been having recently is how I need to be able to go with the flow more and
Mhm.
not like if a plan changes like midday or like right before I was planning on something happening, he's
Yeah.
like, okay, we're going to do it a different way. Like, even things like, which I didn't take this to an extreme, but even things like, um, I was planning on after work on Friday going to pick up Dylan at work and then we were going to drive to the hospital
Yeah.
to go to our ultrasound. And he was like, oh, I'm going to go home and then you can pick me up at home. But it was going to like add time to our thing, which like wasn't that big of a deal. But like to me, I was like, you always change plans on me last minute. Like you're
Yeah.
always like, oh, we're going to do it this way now. And like I just have a really, really hard time with that. And my mind just does not automatically be able to be like, oh, okay, well, this is okay because like we can do it this
Right.
way instead. Like my mind is like, why is everything changing up right now? Like, I'm just
Yeah.
not good with changing of plans at
Yeah.
all. So yeah. Uh, oh, do you want to read yours or do you want me to read yours?
Um,
Do you have your little thing on the?
is it this?
No, I put a picture on the notes.
Oh, you have mine?
Yeah,
Oh.
yours is the
Oops.
second one.
Okay.
Yes.
I am a ENFJ protagonist. It says charismatic and inspiring leaders able to mesmerize their listeners. Protagonists are genuine, caring people who talk the talk and walk the walk, and nothing makes them happier than leading the charge, uniting and motivating their team with infectious enthusiasm.
That is Amanda Tudy.
Yeah, I was reading it and it was like about career stuff and it said like all they want to do is help others and I've literally been saying that since I was a kid. I just wanted to like help people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Strengths is tolerant, reliable, charismatic. How the fuck do you say this name? Altruistic. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Natural leaders.
I couldn't tell you.
I mean, yes and no. Like, I mean, I do feel like I'm more of a leader now than I was in the past.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like.
I can see how you're reluctant to feel that way. Yeah, and say that.
I feel like more now than I used to be.
I don't think maybe you're a leader in the fact, like, in the friend group, you're, like, the one who's, like, we're gonna do this and, like, whatever. But, like, I think you do guide very well.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not, like, the most outgoing or the most, like, outspoken, but you definitely are able to, like, guide things in the way that they're supposed to go. You're also a teacher, so I think that also like,
well,
you are a leader in that.
Yeah, I think with like plans and stuff like that, I think I've become more of a leader in like what time are we going to be here? What are we going to do here? Like scheduling stuff and stuff like that. Yeah, and obviously, definitely, like at work and stuff, I'm a leader.
Yeah.
Overly idealistic.
This is her weaknesses.
This is like,
I read that.
Similar to what you said. Like, I've gotten better at it, but like, mine is more like, I have like a get together with friends or something, and like the day doesn't go how I thought it would be, and then I catch myself being like bummed out after or something.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I'm like I don't know why, but.
She just has a way of how she expects things to go, and sometimes the expectation is not what it turns out to be, and then
or yeah, even like yesterday, like the party was really fun, but it went by so fast, and then I was like low key a little sad after. I was like, why does this day end? And I was like, girl, you're in the pool for like 2 hours by yourself. That's why you didn't hang out with anyone. Like, it's just so silly, but I feel like I've gotten better at it. Like, I've told myself like, other people, everyone has lives, like, we're all just living our lives, like, enjoying the time with people and situations for what it is, like, okay, anyways, too selfless, too sensitive, fluctuating self-esteem, yeah, for sure, struggle to make tough decisions, I feel like a
best friend like me.
yeah, I feel like it's really hard for me to make decisions, like for myself.
Yeah. But with other people, which is why I'm like saying the leader role is like with you, because like if I come to you with a problem, you're able to look at it like in a like open perspective. But with you, like you really think about it like this one way.
That is very true. Yeah. Like I'm like, no, you need to not do that shit.
Yeah.
Even if it's for me, I'm like, I don't know.
Yes.
That's very true.
It's funny because teaching is in one of your careers, or counseling.
Social and religious work, teaching, counseling, and advising all sorts.
Because didn't you also used to want to
Oh, I wanted to be a therapist. Yeah.
Yeah, or a social worker. Didn't you say that?
I was going to be a social worker. Yeah, I started to go to school to be a social worker, but college just wasn't for me.
That's okay.
Oh,
And then I saved these little pictures that described us, like the perks of having us as friends, like the perks of
aw.
having an ENFJ as a friend, which is Amanda. Um, it says their positive and optimistic energy is inspiring, always stands up for you and has your back no matter what, can truly see your potential and guide you to become the best version of yourself, offers you a unique perspective of life, genuinely wants to spend quality time with you, which is something I do really love about Amanda, is that I feel like every time that we hang out, like she is very in the moment and
Mhm.
really just wants to, like, no matter who she's hanging out with, like it is always something that she's like, and maybe that's why you have this, like, I expect things to go this way because, like,
Mm.
I want
Yeah.
things to be great for, like, the people that I'm hanging out with and myself,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Is interested in you and who you are, makes you feel valued and understood, and can give both logical and emotional advice.
Aw. Yeah, that all seems accurate.
Very accurate. I love how mine is a little nurse in all of the little pictures. It's just a nurse standing there with her hands like this. Do you want to read mine?
Oh, where is it? Shit.
It's on the same thing. It's right above yours.
Oh, okay. Has a sweet, calming presence that makes you feel warm. Yes. Since the day I met her, yes. Is very loyal, trustworthy, and fully devoted to your friendship. Tells you the truth in a way that doesn't offend you. I feel like you do that. You
We were
de-
just talking about something
you
today.
definitely you definitely do that. Truly cares about your happiness. Is a great listener who can provide you with both practical and emotional
I think
support.
that's interesting that we both have that one
Mhm.
because I feel that about our friendship.
Yeah. Is always grateful to be with you. Aww. Remembers little things about you and uses that knowledge to make you happy. Definitely. Helps you do things that you struggle with. Oh, oh, that's so funny. That's so
That is
true.
funny.
Um, yeah, it's tells you the truth in a way that doesn't offend you. We like never fight, and sometimes I'm like, sometimes I'm like, are we gonna fight?
Do we?
Are
Are
we
we gonna
ever
fight
gonna
about this?
fight? Like we literally, um, I don't think we've ever gotten into like I really don't. It's like almost weird.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Whether we like really value our friendship that we just don't like fight, but
There's just nothing I've been mad at you for. Like sometimes I'd be like to Mark, like, oh, I don't know why Lindsay did this or something. But like I normally, if like something small bothers me, like I'll tell you and be like, oh, like I kind of felt this way, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry. Like
yeah.
I don't know. Like
Yeah. Well, I just feel like we can both, like, we know each other so well that we can really understand each other's perspectives. That, like, if you come to me and you're like, hey, this really bothered me that you did this, then I'm like, oh, I mean, yeah, I can totally see how that was, like, not maybe the best thing that I probably could have
yeah.
done. Which one of mine also was, like, takes things really personally and, like,
Mm.
gets more defensive, which is definitely one of my weaknesses in my relationship with Dylan. But I think, especially with you and a lot of my other friends, I'm able to, like, take what they say about me now. I mean, I'm not saying I was always like this at all, but I feel like I'm able to take what you say about me or like something that I did and be like, oh yeah, maybe that wasn't like the greatest thing I possibly could have done. And like I understand immediately, especially with you, because I feel like more than any of my other friends, you bring stuff up to me that maybe you didn't appreciate that I did, which I appreciate about you, but that's just like part of our friendship dynamic. Um, but I think that I'm able to look at it in a way that's like, oh, I could see how that's like maybe why she would feel that way, or like why it wasn't the greatest thing like that I
Yeah, and I feel
could
like
have
it's
done.
never even been anything that
Well, yeah, nothing
crazy.
like
I feel like we're
bad
just
either.
always I feel like we're just always trying to like help. We just are out here trying to help each other be like our best versions of
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah,
Like that's literally what we're doing.
I agree. And it's also helped me whenever you point that stuff out to me, that next time it comes around, that I'm not doing the same thing again.
Mhm.
I think it makes me very aware of, and not even like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm like walking on eggshells around Amanda, but like, it just makes me aware to be like, oh, well, I had done this in the past and she didn't appreciate that. So the next time around, like, I'm going to do it differently, you know?
Mhm.
Like, not making like, I feel like the one time that we did like have a serious conversation was like more of a miscommunication
Mhm.
than anything, but it was also something that like I wasn't communicating effectively, like, and she had one version in her mind and I had another version in my mind, and like we just were not like on the same page, but I also was like not like the way that I went about it was not
Yeah, and
right.
I
Yeah.
feel like when I was filling this out, I am like very emotional, and I feel like sometimes you help me like not be so emotional about things, or like, I mean, I take things like super personally,
I think
which
that's something we both have
I
a problem
take
with.
and I should not, but also I do feel like I am a leader, and um with different, I feel like with different people and different
Yeah.
dynamics, like I do feel more of a leader, but yeah.
Whenever
It was hard because I was like, there were so many questions that were like, are you emotional or are you not? And I'm like, well,
yes,
normally I am
that's what I was just gonna
emotional,
say.
but I feel like I've gotten better at that,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I tried to like, especially with those questions, because I totally agree with you on those, that I was like I know I'm a very emotional person, but in a lot of ways I can think pretty logically about things. Like it's not always that way, but I think if something pretty serious is going down, like one of the questions was like about like an overreaction of emotion about stuff. Like if something is like going down, like how do you react to that? And for me, I get really quiet. Like, this is a weird example, but like, I almost hit a raccoon going home the other day. And I feel like some people like scream or like shout or say something out loud. And I was driving Dylan home and I grabbed Dylan's chest and I hit him backwards and I just stepped on the brakes as hard as I could. And he goes, "It's fine, babe. It's fine." I said, "Did you see me even have a reaction to that?" Like, I just got real quiet. I didn't say anything. I grabbed him and I pressed on the brakes as hard as I could. And no one was behind me or anything, so I knew I would be okay. But, like, it was just so funny that, like, I feel like some people in that situation
I
might, like, yell
No,
or,
I
like,
feel like I'd be like, I almost hit the
yeah,
raccoon.
yeah.
I almost ran over a squirrel the one day. Oh my god, it's so devastating. My mom actually did.
I did hit a squirrel one day.
My mom
It was
hit a
very sad.
squirrel and she was devastated, and she texted my me and my aunt and uncle. We were all like already talking about something, I don't know, but she texted us all like very sad news.
Very
So
sad.
that's what she did. That would be devastating.
I would be really actually interested. This is a really random person, but I'd be interested what your mom's personality test is and if it's
Oh my
similar to
god.
yours or not. You should send it to her and we should see.
I think no, yeah, she's so funny. I think she's not as emotional as me at all.
That's true.
She's very
That's true.
much like
She's very like
she's
straightforward
very
about
like
things.
boom boom
Yeah.
like, but I mean, she does like she is emotional. She's like ah like, but she's very much like, Amanda, like, why do you care about that? Like,
Exactly.
let
Yeah.
it go. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but honestly, like, I feel like having you and Mark in my life has really helped me be more logical
Yeah.
about stuff,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it helps to have people in your corner that think about things from a different perspective, because that was one of your personality like friendship things, was like looking at things from a different perspective. And I think everybody obviously adds a different
Oh,
perspective of life, but I think you and I think very differently, and so you always add a different perspective for me
I
where I was like,
literally
"Oh,
don't. This bothers me so much. I don't understand how people don't like. I like really wholeheartedly put myself in other people's shoes. And like even if it's hard, I'm really like, okay, if I was this person, how would I feel about this? Like I
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really try to do that even if it's hard. And
And like why they're thinking what they're
sometimes if
thinking.
it's hard, I'm like, Mark, I'm really trying to think about their perspective, but I just can't. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just can't. Um, I really try to do that, and I don't know how people don't do that. But
Yeah.
that's something that I've always really tried to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think that in a lot of situations that we've been through together, you're always the one to be like, well, they might be like this. And I'm like, ew. Which, not saying I'm not like empathetic towards other people, but I think Amanda thinks about other people's perspectives a lot more than I personally would.
Yeah, and
But also, Dylan gets mad at me about
it's
that too.
also
So,
it's a blessing and a curse because sometimes I'm thinking too much
yes.
about other
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm. And not enough about yourself.
Yeah, but
as well.
I've gotten a lot better at that, and I think I'm able to like make better decisions and stuff. It actually like surprises me. I'm like, oh shit, like am I really thinking like this?
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh okay, like I got myself back, I guess. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know, because I'm very like super nice too, but I feel like I've got not that I shouldn't be nice, but I feel like as I've gotten older, I'm like I have to be careful.
Well, I think the niceness also has been. It's just like changed its.
Mark's the same way.
It's.
He's like, this person did this and this person did this. I'm like, well, don't fucking let them do that, Mark. Like, what are you doing? And he's like,
I think it's hard because sometimes, just in general, as people, we don't want to. Um, we don't want to say something to another person that would be like offensive or like make someone else upset. I think I'm that way a lot about you, and I don't have I couldn't even name situations where I've gotten that upset with you about something at all. Um but like the little things, I kind of am just like, okay, well, that is Amanda and that's just how
right.
she is, and like there's nothing that I'm able if there was something that upset me that much, obviously I would bring it up to you. If there was something that you were doing that was hurting me, I would bring
Right.
it up to you. But there's a lot of things that are just like sometimes you just have to accept that that is how someone is,
Mhm.
and that's just like how our dynamic is. And like I have really learned in the past few years like how my friendships are different from each other, and how like some of my friendships are more fun based and like not as deep, and some of my friendships are extremely deep and there's a lot going on underneath there. And like there are friends that I go to about stuff that I wouldn't go to other friends about, and like just those different dynamics that like come with getting older and realizing that. But I used to think like all my friendships need to be this way, which is like
Yeah, all your
crazy.
friendships need to be
Like
this way, and you have to tell each one about your issue.
the same thing. Yes, yes.
And yeah, there are some friends that I would say something to, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have told you that. Or like, I don't know. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, because everyone offers a different perspective, but it's also like sometimes you maybe don't want to or need to hear that perspective.
yeah, kind of like with
Or maybe you already know what they're going to say.
relationships. You don't have to tell. Like, I'm not gonna tell you every single. You though, I feel like I could literally tell you anything about me and Mark, and you would be like, well, maybe look at his perspective this way. But I could say it to somebody else, and they'd be like, oh, Mark's being like an asshole or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like,
I think I also know you two very well as a
right.
couple and as my friends. That, and I think with that especially, I can relate to Mark a lot more than I can relate
Yeah.
to you in relationships specifically. But, um, I think Mark and I are very similar in that way, so I can say that, but I can also be like, okay, but Mark, look at Amanda's perspective and see why she would think this way, and have him, um, because I look at Dylan and I'm like, okay, well, he sometimes acts more immaturely or like thinking less maturely than I would like him to. And I think Mark also has that same problem with you.
Me immature?
Ooh. And so I think Mark and I just both have like this like
yeah,
more mature
I
perspective, which I'm not trying to say
no,
they're like kids, like
you
that's
and
not what I'm
Mark
trying to
should
say.
really you got to look at your personality tests like side by side.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah. I forget what he said his was.
they're
I'll text him.
they're very much alike, and it was actually kind of creepy when we started figuring it out. I was like, oh,
Yeah. Well, just because the way that Mark would say things to you, I would be like, yeah. Like, I would think the same way about those types of things. And then
yeah, but
I would also be like,
you give
okay,
me different
but
perspectives,
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, and I think that's also sometimes what Mark needs too, is just like someone who can relate to him to also be like, okay, but like it's not always about what we think and how we want things to go, because I think Mark and I are also like, we want this to go this certain way and it has to go this way.
And he took this test a long time ago too, but when he was reading his answers last night, it was scary. It was like very spot on. I was like,
Yeah, I'm interested to see
like,
how
maybe
ours
you should
would
still
align.
work on that. No, I'm just kidding. We like have like everyone's like, how's married life? Like I genuinely mean it's good. Like we haven't got into any, knock on wood now that I'm talking about this, but we really like haven't gotten into any things like little, whatever you want to call them, little arguments.
And I think there's always going to be that
there's always
flow.
ups and downs.
Yeah.
But
in your relationship, especially because you're living together, everything is combined, like your whole lives are intertwined.
I think it's good to have like each other's space too, like when he goes to play hockey or when we're not together like 24/7.
Yeah, and some people can do that, which kudos to them.
No, I feel like that's when I'm like ready to frickin' kill him. I'm like, goodbye.
I 100% agree with that. I think sometimes it's for the best. Like, even though it was really hard in the beginning, Dylan being gone a lot, I think right now it's definitely for the best for him to like be fishing and like having his own thing, where I can like have a day where I'm like just worrying about house stuff. Because if I'm at home and he's at home and I start doing housework, he's like, "When are you gonna hang out with me?" I'm like, I got stuff to do. Like,
oh my god, that's me and Mark, but I'm Dylan. I'm like, so when are you gonna come? Do you want to like come watch a movie, or do you want to? We started playing a video game together.
Oh, that's fun.
It's called It Takes Two.
Okay.
And it's about this couple who's like getting divorced, and the daughter like somehow gets them turned into these little dolls. So then they have to work together to like find the daughter and like, obviously become real people again, kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Where do you play that on?
We play it on his computer, but I think like PlayStation or Xbox.
That sounds really fun.
He also explained to me, I asked him, I was like, is this PlayStation or is this Xbox? And he said that it's a PC game, but there's different versions. But it's called It Takes Two. And like you work together. It's basically like him guiding me how to fucking do shit the whole time. No, but it's really fun. But we're like stuck on this level right now that was really hard. But I hate video games. I mean, not I don't want to say I hate video games, but I've just never played them and like been into them. But he like really has been wanting to play a game with me for so long. So I'm like, okay, fine.
Well, I'm glad you decided to.
He was like so happy. He's like, "Oh, you were so good at playing that video game." I'm like, "Okay." It's like
it really was hot.
Literally, I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like,
thanks.
Yeah, but
that's funny.
Yeah, just different stuff to do together, I guess.
No, that sounds really fun. Dylan and I play Mario Kart together.
Yeah,
so we like doing that. Or I'll just sit there and watch him play, which is fun for me instead of like watching TV or something like that. And then I like get to cheer for him, and he feels good about himself.
Yeah. Also random, we watched Inside Out for the first time. I've never seen it.
Really? I want to see Inside Out too. I think I watched that whenever I was like nannying kids or something like that.
I can't believe I've never seen it.
I should probably watch it again.
He wants to go see it in theaters, so.
I want to go to the movie so bad. Take me with you.
Oh my god, let's go do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we have to go to the zoo and we have to go to the movies. I want to go to the zoo so bad.
I do too, but like it's gonna be so hot.
I know, it is gonna be hot.
Mark actually told me, he's like, is Lindsay trying to die, like, going into the zoo when she's pregnant in this weather? I'm like, oh my god. No, but we really should go see Inside Out soon. We're gonna plan that. Like,
I've been wanting to go to the movie theater so bad.
Because it's not often that Mark, like, really wants to go to the theater, but he said to me yesterday, he's like, I want to go see Inside Out. And I'm like, okay. He's
Okay,
like, but
well,
I don't want to cry in the theater. And I'm like, okay,
Aww.
you're going to.
I should watch Inside Out 1 again, just to,
Okay.
like, refresh myself. And then we can all go see Inside Out 2. I don't know if Dylan would want to see that, but I'll go with you guys as the third wheel.
Oh no, come on, Dylan.
Like, I feel like every day we, like, plan to hang out, and he's like, no, sorry, I have to do something else. And I'm like, okay. All right.
Yeah, well.
But I'm going to make him go to the zoo. And he did say he wanted to go to the zoo. So yeah.
All right, guys. I don't know how long this has been going for, but we were really talking.
An hour and 2 minutes. But we started kind of late, so maybe it's less than that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I hope you guys have a great couple weeks. And we'll see you here on Thursday. In 2 Thursdays. Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.